Okay, so we're back, and what I want to do right now is put a lot more shading on her face and color layering. And I picked out a lot of different colors. Like I said, we may or may not use all of these, but there's flesh base, medium flesh, honey brown, mocha, flesh tone, and cashmere beige. And I just put them on in whatever random order I want to. So let's get started. Get my paintbrush wet. I think what we'll do is we'll kind of put maybe this honey brown on first. And remember, we did do her face once with mocha, and now we're just going to layer these colors over top just to give it some highlights and lowlights. I'm not really great about shading, so I think that's why I like to color layer. So here's what we're going to do. Now this paint is pretty wet, as you can see, and we're just going to kind of stay with the shape of her face and drag it around. And we'll just keep putting more and more layers on until we get a color that we like. And you see how I'm not totally painting it in, it's just real wet, kind of like a wash that we're putting over her face right now. And you might notice that I did fix her neckline up. I think I have OCD. I said it's not a big deal, but it was a big deal for me. I just couldn't take it anymore. So while you guys weren't looking, I fixed it. But what I did to fix that was I just added a little more of the light sand down around here and then covered that up with cashmere beige. So that way it kind of evened her shirt out a little bit. Okay, a little more water because it looks like this is going on pretty thick. And again, like I said, we will be adding a lot of colors over top of this. So here we are. And it's pretty wet paint. And I'm not pushing real hard on my brush, just a little gently. We'll add some more up in here again. I want to get the shape of that face right. Kind of goes over her neck a little bit down there. I want it to do that. Okay. And we're just going to get close to the line as we can. And again, just keep kind of following the shape of her face. Now with that on there, even though it's still a little bit wet, we're going to take, I guess we'll put some medium flesh on, because that's kind of looking a little orange to me. And we'll put a little bit of this over top and just kind of blend. This I didn't add any water to. It seems kind of, you know, liquidy enough. Just kind of keep close to those lines again and fill this in as much as you can. Probably make you dizzy turning my canvas around every couple minutes, but it just makes it easier for me to paint that way. Okay, so this is all we do until we get a color that we like. I'll put a little on her neckline down here. Okay, that's looking a little better. Now we're going to take the blow dryer, cover your ears. Okay. Now we'll take some base flesh. I don't know if we used that already or not. I can't remember. Like I said, it's just kind of random. Just whatever you feel like putting on, just to get a color you like. And to give it a little dimension and highlights and lowlights. A little water, because you can, if you look real close, you can see the impression or the little texture of the canvas, and we don't want to see that. So if we put water on, it smooths that paint in really nicely. A little more water on my brush, and we're going to go around the face and just keep going around it until you like what you're coming up with. And I'm throwing a little bit more of this first color back on too again. And the paint is still wet here, of course. So just blending and seeing what we get. Well, I like to keep her neck maybe a little bit darker. And a little more water on my brush because it's not really covering up down in here, and but I don't want it thick. I just want a little bit of shading, and that looks pretty good. Getting kind of close here to her shirt or her hair. Okay, so pretty good, but just kind of give it a little sweep here so you don't see all your brush marks. I'm doing it very gently. Going around the edge again. A little more. And then gently, just to smooth those brush lines out. We don't want to see any brush lines. I'm going to add a little bit more over here to the side of her face because it looks like it needs just a little more over there. Okay. And then up here too. I know it seems like a lot of work, but it'll turn out really nice once it's all done. I'm going to take the blow dryer again and dry it. You can see how we're getting a lot of nice highlights and lowlights. Let that dry. And I also, we'll let that dry a little bit, and I'm going to move down to her shirt here and put some kind of little design on there. What I did was purchase some stencils. I think I got these at Walmart. They're from Plaid. There's a couple different ones in this pack. So, but I think what I want to do is use this bottom one on her shirt, or this one here we'll put on her shirt. And I'm just going to place it kind of, not really randomly. Then we'll take, geez, what color should we put on over top of that? Maybe a really light purple. How about that? I think that would be pretty. Oh, it might blend in too much with her shirt. Or with the background. What could we use? Well, I don't want it to be really predominant either, so yeah, let's use the light purple. Okay, and we won't put it on real dark. We'll just do it really barely so that you notice that it's on there. I hardly have any paint down for that. I'm gonna get my stencil brush just a little bit wet and dab some of that paint or water off there, and really swirl around on this so I cover all the bristles in my stencil. And then we're going to have to be careful here because we don't really want to get any on her neck or anything like that. So just kind of rub it in there, pounce on it, whatever you want to do. And we'll put a little more down here. We'll kind of do it a little off to the side. So that's starting to look pretty good. And then here, we'll do it here too. Not real dark. We'll go back up here. Do this. And right here. Okay. It does kind of match in with the background, but we can fix that. We'll do something a little different. Okay, so there's that. What I'd like to do maybe is take some of this the blue-green. Oh my gosh, I'm having such a hard time picking out color. I want to do the light mocha, and we'll put some little dots where those dots are on her shirt. And what I do to do that is just use the back end of my paintbrush, because it'll make the same size dot every time. And just put a dot right in the center of these flowers. How about that? Or what look to be flowers. We'll just do that. Make them a little bit bigger. We'll put one right here and here. Even though the center isn't really on there, it'll just make it look like it is. So, okay. We like that. I think that looks pretty good. And I think what we'll also do, just add a little bit around her neckline here. Just some dots. So it really makes the shirt stand out from the background on the canvas. Keep adding dots. I think you guys can see this. Keep pouncing back into your paint and back onto the canvas. Try to keep them a little bit uniform. Kind of like that one that I just put on her skin instead. Okay, so there you go. That's her shirt. That was pretty easy. Now we'll go back to her face again and add, let's add some flesh tone is what this one is. We'll just keep layering on and layering on. Okay, I'll throw that on my floor because I lost my garbage can. You'll see this, she'll really come alive with all these extra tones on her skin. Let's see here. Okay. I'll just kind of add a little bit of this. We're going to need some water because you see how that's getting too thick. We don't want it like that. We want to kind of thin it out and give her highlights and lowlights. Just wherever. Okay. I've got some light color down here. Be careful of your dots because they're still wet. I don't want to drag any of those around the canvas. Okay. So that's just what we keep doing. Just get her face filled in. Now while that's wet, I'll put a little bit more of this honey brown back on top. I know it's a long process, right? It's worth it though. Just keep blending and adding. And you guys don't have to use the same colors I'm using. You can use any colors you want to. I never exactly use the same colors on a girl twice just because I should write them down so I know what they are, but I really don't care. Because no one's skin color is exactly the same, so I just kind of, they all have their own little personality, and I just like to let that come through. I say to people, I really don't create this art, it kind of creates itself.